I'd like to welcome everybody to the regular Board of Trustees meeting for the Finance Committee meeting. And I'd like a roll call, please.
Trustees Nelson.
Here.
Pike.
Here.
President Wecken.
Here.
Trustee Zeiss.
Here.
Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda, minutes from regular Finance Personnel Committee meeting of 1 September 2020. Is there a motion to approve, or is there
So moved.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Any amendments or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor of the minutes as presented, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Claims review and recommendations.
Stan, can I move to recommend the board to approve the October 2020 non-recurring claims of $140,531?
Thank you, Kirk. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Tim. Discussion. Those are a couple of big numbers in there. One is to finish off the fire contract, I believe, for this year, correct?
Yes.
And the other was
Street
Public
maintenance. Street maintenance.
Okay,
Was in there.
the county.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else out of the ordinary I didn't see?
Under capital equipment, I believe was the lawnmower that Public Works purchased, but otherwise the same.
Yeah. No, but I just, anytime the county or the city gets a check from us, I like to know what. So, but no, that sounds good. And any other discussion, guys? Hearing none. Kirk?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Item 4. Purchase of laptops for General Government Office and Public Works Director. Discussion, possible recommendations. Is there a motion?
And I motion to purchase 4 laptops in the amount of not to exceed $4,600 for General Government Office and Public Works Director to be used for electronic meetings and to work from home in the event of the building may need to be closed for a period of time due to COVID-19, and submit expenses to the routes to recovery grant for reimbursement.
Thank you, Tim. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kirk. Discussion. Melissa, do you want to do any fill-in?
So currently, we only have the one laptop for the General Government Office that Jessica uses for minute taking. That one was purchased back in 2011, so it's not supported any longer. Yeah, it's quite old. I mean, it worked fine for minute taking, but with Zoom meetings, it doesn't have the ability. It's not compatible with Zoom. And I've been using the police department's laptop computers every time I'm on because my office one doesn't have a camera on it. So this is a good way to kind of get laptop computers for Zoom meetings. And I believe Patrick, if he's on here, he had requested one as well for Zoom meetings. And I believe if we do half in person and half by Zoom, if that happens with Public Works meetings, I believe Brian had requested maybe a laptop for that. I'm not sure, Brian, if you want to expand on that. But so they could be used for that as well. And due to the Routes to Recovery grant, I did a lot of checking with other municipalities, and this is one of the things that they have used as well. So we can get reimbursed for these because we need them for Zoom meetings. And in the event, if anything should happen that we'd have to work from home, we'd have it for that as well. So, and we can get reimbursed through that.
Excellent. Anything? Any other questions, guys?
No, it's nice to be able to go to take use of a grant that's going to cover some expenses. How about just overall general keeping maybe possible track for capital improvements down the line? I mean, I'm not sure how old your current ones are that you have, but maybe get that on some type of rotation basis down there. We could consider that later on down the road, not part of this, but.
For what? I'm sorry.
Just on a rotation that you replace them every once in a while. Now you're replacing all 4 of them here, so that's kind of a different type of rotation that you would do it with. I mean, normally
Right.
we just, but.
Yeah, our desktop computers, those are rotated out every 3 years.
Good. That's
So
what I
one of us gets a new one each year, and then in 3 years it comes back around. So those stay up to date. We just, like I said, haven't done a lot with the laptop computers, so
Yep.
yeah, it would be probably on the same rotation.
Good.
And we'll discuss these iPad things in regular finance, or I mean the regular budget meeting, because these are getting older and stuff like that too, right?
Yes. Yep.
Sounds good.
So
Okay,
on that point, Melissa, would our iPads for the trustees fall under this grant too?
Unfortunately not. And the reason is because this grant is really for expenses due to COVID that aren't budgeted expenses, and that's something you don't already have and that you're replacing. It's basically for new purchases of something you have. And since you guys already have the ability, you have the technology to do Zoom meetings, it's not considered a need.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and some municipalities are stretching out a little bit and getting a little aggressive with. Well, it makes me a little nervous to get too just try and stretch it too much, because some of the things people are buying, if they got audited and come back, then for us to try and have to pay for that, it makes me a little nervous. So I'm trying to be cautious with it, but I did look into that. And since you guys already have, if you didn't have them, it would be one thing, but.
Yeah, I would more consider looking at like a replicator that you can put your laptop in and have monitors connected to it. That's what so if that's the aggressiveness you're talking about that other ones are doing, I could see that. But
yeah, well, some are purchasing things that are, I don't know, like new picnic tables for their parks.
oh, okay.
Yeah. But if you guys have other ideas, the last time to submit the expenses for this grant is November 6th. It has to be bought and paid for by that date. So that's why it's finishing up here. I'm trying to get some of these things in. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Hearing none. Purchase. Brian?
Yes.
Kirk?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
And yes. Thank you. Okay, item number 5. Purchase of air purifiers for Village Hall. Discussion possible recommendations.
Brian, you want it?
Is there a motion?
Stand and move to purchase air purifiers as recommended due to COVID-19 for the Village Hall in an amount not to exceed $6,500, and submit the expense to the Routes to Recovery grant for reimbursement.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kirk. Discussion? Melissa?
And this is another thing that municipalities were using the grant money for. A lot of them are incorporating it into their whole HVAC system, but since our system isn't real ideal, that would be really costly to do that. So a lot of municipalities are buying these air purifiers. Nathan put together some research. All the attachments is research he had done. So it was just something I would see if you guys were interested in or not.
Well, we've had complaints about the air quality emanating out of the basement for a long time, and to be, we don't know what normal's going to be, and to have these devices, if they are, if they help, and it is fully reimbursable. So I think there are good things that happen from this disease. There's no doubt about that. So I hope that people are aware of it. And, with elections coming up and everything, we can get these in fairly quickly, yes?
I believe so. They should be in. Nathan would probably put in the order, this week to get them, and hopefully we'd get them before the election, and the Public Works would mount them on the wall. So the one would be in the general government office, would be mounted on the wall between Nathan and Jessica. And then the chief had requested one for back in his area. And the one in the boardroom would be mounted on the wall out of sight, not on the cameras or anything. So, yeah.
Okay. No, it sounds great. Anybody else?
Those filters.
Oh.
The filters, do you have an idea what the ongoing expense is going to be to replace the filters?
I was looking at that on one of those printouts. I believe it's like $30 a filter. How often that needs to be changed, I don't know. But I suppose, maybe we could buy a couple filters, but I can have him look at that too. But I know it was on one of those.
I believe the filters are 5-year shelf or 5-year life, and the units were like 15-year life.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Welcome.
Wow. Mine don't
5
last
years.
Mine
know.
never even comes close to 5 years.
These are the commercial grade air purifiers. Maybe that's
Apples.
they're not just the home type ones.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Okay, anything else? I believe we gotta make another vote, Tim.
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and yes. Thank you. Item number 6, change of labor attorney firm, discussion, possible recommendations. Is there a motion, or do you need background first? Or
I don't see a motion out there on the sheet, but
Which one are you suggesting? Are you suggesting we do this, Melissa?
Well, Mindy Dale is our HR attorney. She's great to work with. So I received this letter saying that she was changing firms. I did talk to her a little bit to see kind of what was going on. And apparently with Weld Riley, a large portion of the shareholders, like 20 of them, of the attorneys decided to leave. And so basically the rest of them were kind of told, you can come with us or you can stay here and not sure what happened or go somewhere else. And she decided to go in a different direction. She did say that I don't know how much longer Weld Riley will maybe be around. So that's my other concern is if you stuck with Weld Riley, I don't know how many other attorneys are going to be left. And it sounds like they may end up breaking up. I did talk to the chief and he can weigh in on this if he would like. The firm she's joining, Breezen and Von Breezen and Roper, I guess the chief does quite a few training webinars and things through them, and he really likes them, and they work with a lot of municipalities. Mark, I'm not sure if you...
Yeah. So through the Wisconsin Chiefs of Police Association, which I've been a part of for about 15 years now, Kyle Roper, who is one of the main HR attorneys, is from that firm. And he also, I just did a webinar last week where Kyle was one of the main presenters, and they brought Mindy Dale in as one of the co-presenters. And it was her first day on the job with the firm. So it's quite obvious that they've got quite a bit of, I guess that they believe in what she knows and what she brings to their firm. And I think it just really is going to shore up relationships that we already have had on the police department side, as well as we've used Mindy with Melissa for a couple of different items for HR on the police department side. And I like her, and I think that the organization that she's going or has gone to is would be a good representation for the village.
Right. I agree.
thank you.
I've gotten a
Okay.
chance to work with her once too. I really would not want to lose her if we don't have to.
She's great. I would prefer to stick with her. And like I said, even if she retires sometime soon, I know there was another letter that kind of mentioned it from Weld Riley, that maybe she was supposed to maybe be retiring, but now she's not. But even the firm in general, I don't know what the future of Weld Riley will be. I talked to Paul Mahler a little bit, and he knows Mindy as well. And he said he wasn't sure what Weld Riley, he had kind of heard the rumors as well. So, yeah, I think it would be good if, the chief feels comfortable with Von Breezen. Even if she retired, it's still a good firm to work with, is from what I'm hearing. So
So
any, well, one question, Brian, any contractual agreements then, of course, with our current one that we're with, or that's out? That contract?
that we have going on right now?
Correct.
No, the only thing we have kind of open right now is our that ADA complaint.
Yep.
That I can't get into a whole lot, and that's through our insurance company.
Okay.
them. So that's the only thing right now, and that attorney is still there. It's not Mindy. So
Okay.
it's a different attorney with Weld Riley appointed through our insurance company. Yeah, but otherwise we don't have anything ongoing right now.
And
I'll ask that question again. This agreement's on an annual basis, or I mean,
We don't have any
term? No term.
No.
Okay.
We don't
Thank you.
sign a contract with them.
Okay. Good to
No.
know. Sorry, Chief.
No, I was just going to bring that up. I think it's an as needed.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Great.
Good, Brian.
Okay, and let's see. That's not really spending until we spend.
I still think
right?
we need
So-
a motion, Stan. So I'll motion
Yeah.
for the North Hudson to join the Von Brayson and Roper Company.
Okay. Second.
Well, it's not really joining them.
I'll second.
Or use them.
All right. So, Tim, your second is okay with changing it to
I'm second is
joining to
basically
using?
to agreement with go with that firm. Yep.
Okay.
Certainly.
And seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of using the new law firm as we need them, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Was that an aye for opposed?
Tim.
No.
None. No.
Yep.
No. None.
Oh, you're good. Okay. Item 7.
Yep.
2020-2021 snow removal contract discussion, possible actions.
Stan, I make a motion to renew our snow plowing contract with Zappa Brothers, Inc. with equipment rates increase and minimum guarantee to stay the same. This contract will cover the 2020-2021 snow season.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kirk. Discussion.
So we're keeping the same hour agreements there, Brian?
Yeah, it's a $7,000 minimum.
What did we spend last year?
We did not use all of last year's, I don't believe.
I don't
But
think
we
we've used
paid.
it all once.
Huh?
We paid it, but I don't believe we used it all. Patrick, are you on where you can?
So
Not seeing him on here.
having been on the public works, so we have to pay that amount whether we use it or not, correct?
Right.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, so I always encourage them to make sure they use them. Otherwise, we're paying them for nothing. But I think we ended up, I can get a better number, but I think we ended up paying $2,000 out.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get enough snow events where we can get them out early and get
Right.
it out of the way. That's the biggest thing. I mean, if you try to save them for a big snow event, we don't use them. It's like, eh.
Right.
So
Melissa, how often is he billing us when we use their services? How fast does he turn our bill around to us?
Not very.
So
It takes
some of
a
our,
while to get a bill.
and that's what I'm saying, some of what I understood before where we're running into issues is we don't know exactly how many dollars we've already spent and how much more
Right.
we need to use them. So we do run into that.
Right.
And we're keeping them because kind of like an emergency backup for snow plowing. It's not something we can just not get done if we've got a couple sick guys out there or
Mhm.
whatever.
yeah,
So I
that's,
think that-
and that's the biggest thing with if you have people out. I mean, that would be an issue.
It's labor more than anything else, correct? It's not that we can't handle some of the plowing based off the equipment that we have. It's more just labor, right? Would you
Yep.
say, Brian?
Oh yeah, our
Okay.
equipment can do it. I'm pretty sure they did it. They'll do it all by themselves more than once this year.
Okay.
So
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none. Let's see. Contract spending. Brian,
yes,
Kirk,
Yes.
Tim.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Next item, number 8, convene into closed session. The board may convene into closed session pursuant to statute 19.85, parent 1, parent lowercase e, to deliberate or negotiate the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever the competitive or bargaining reasons require closed session with respect to proposal from Rupert Milkey.
Stan, can I motion to go into closed session?
Thank you, Kirk. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. And then also we have a second closed session where the board may convene in closed session pursuant to 19.85 1C to consider employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the government body has jurisdiction or exercises the responsibility with respect to employee evaluations. Now, I'm assuming it's okay that the closed session we can vote on it to go into closed session and act on both.
Correct.
Okay, and the second one for B, when we get done discussing the Rupert Milkey, then Melissa will have to sign out or whatever we do, because the closed session is dealing with with her review, I believe.
No,
So-
this first one, Stan, in finance is with everybody else, with all the rest of the staff.
Oh,
Yep.
so that's
So I should probably stay on for this one, but then when you get to the village board closed session, that one with the whole board is me. That's when I would
I guess I misunderstood that. I
Yeah,
thought this was
it's confusing.
yeah, because I thought this one was going to be for yours, but and that'll change things because we've seen the reviews, but anyway, we can do these both at the same time, correct, Chief?
Yes.
Yeah, and I guess as far as us coming back in for that reconvening, any idea how that's going to work on Zoom?
Brian has it.
He's given me control already. I would be able to let you back in. The only question, what I do with Nate is I text him and say, come on back in. So somebody's going to need to be able to text you too.
Well, I think the other thing that you can maybe do, Brian, is I can leave the meeting and then give it 10 minutes, I'll log back in. And then I think until you're ready, don't allow anyone back onto the meeting. I think that's we're posting.
Brian,
maybe-
you have to re-enable the waiting room with the
That's what I
three
was gonna
dots at the
say.
bottom. Yep.
Where is it? Under meeting settings?
No, go to invite at the bottom. I believe it's invite. And then there's three dots next to invite and mute me when you look at the list of users. I think it's in there.
You know what? You do it.
Okay.
I couldn't find it quickly enough.
Well, I'll leave the meeting and then I'll just try again in like 10 minutes or so. I'm sure it'll be figured out by then. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, it's enabled and I'm making you the host again.
Melissa,
Yes.
Okay.
do I need to even come back in?
No, probably not for this.
Should
I'll
wait
just
till
take-
7?
Wait till 7. Yeah.
Okay. I'm leaving.
Okay.
Thank you, Jess.
Thanks, Jess.
Real quick, can you guys vote on going into closed session? You got a motion and a second. You just need to vote.
Well, that's what I was waiting for, people to decide what was going
Okay.
on.
Okay.
All in favor of going into closed session, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. We are now in closed session. We are back in open session. We have one action item from the closed session that we will vote on. Is there a motion?
No,
Right,
so
Kurt.
I think we already approved it. We're just announcing that we approved the
The Rupert Milkey?
yeah.
But for the folks that weren't in closed session, can we state what we did?
I'll just state, I also move that I'm not going to move, I'll just state the fact is that we made a motion and approved the actions to move with Rupert and Melky.
Thank you, Tim. And the vote was all in favor of going with the study from Rupert Milkey. And since we don't have to vote, there was no action items on item B. So the next item is we are adjourned at 6:55. And we'll see you all in 5. And I'd like to welcome everyone to the regular Board of Trustees meeting for the Village of North Hudson on Tuesday, 6 October at 7:01 p.m. I have a short invocation. Preserve this nation, merciful Father, and help us do our part to make it a great country. I pray for the leaders who have been elected to office that they will do what is right for this great nation. Roll call, please.
Trustees Head,
Here.
Leaf, Matz,
Here.
Nelson,
Here.
Pike, President Wecken,
Pike's here someplace.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
saw him earlier, but President Wecken's here.
Trustees Ice.
Here.
Thank you. Okay, item 2, review and approve minutes from the regular board meeting of 1 September 2020. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Kirk. Thank you, Lori. Is there any amendments, corrections, or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor of the minutes as presented, signify by saying aye.
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 All right, thank you. Item 3, comments from the floor. Opportunity for residents to make the board aware of topics, issues, opportunities either on or not on today's agenda. Is there anyone that has a comment for the board? Hearing none. On to item 4. River Valley Deer Management approval requested. A is 2021 River Valley Deer Management contract, and B, the hunter applications for North Hudson Deer Management. I see Lon is here. And is there...
Yes.
Thank you. Is there an motion to approve the requested proposal?
So moved. Is this for A or A and B?
Well,
I would make them separate, to be honest with you. This is A, I believe, 2020.
yeah, this is A, but
Yeah, you want to make them separate.
Okay. So motion to approve the River Valley Deer Management for 20, is this for 2020 and
2021. Yeah.
For 2020 and 2021
contract.
contract.
Good.
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kirk. Discussion. How many years, Lonnie, have we been doing this?
You know, I think it's either 8 or 9.
Okay, and
Am
we've
I?
had. You lock up? I mean, we've had
Zero issues.
no issues. We've had great. I mean, you've had success in thinning the population somewhat. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes, if you can't hear me.
no, it's just a little choppy, or I mean, it's a delayed, very much delayed, but that's okay. But any questions the board have for Lon on the contract?
Lon, what's the antlerless harvest quota?
It is when you buy a deer license in GMU unit 60, you receive 10 doe tags. So it is almost an unlimited harvest for in the metro zone.
Okay. Thanks.
Anyone else? Hearing not, all in favor of approving the deer management contract for 2020 and 2021, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now item B is hunter applications for the North Hudson Deer Management Program.
Stan, I move to approve the applications of Lon Fia, Daniel Schmidt, Harvey Baird, and Bradley Coulter for participation in the Village of North Hudson Deer Management Program during the 2020-2021 hunting season.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Got three then.
Okay, yeah, we got enough for a second there. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the River Valley Deer Management Hunter applications approval, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Lon,
Thank
for
you
joining.
all. Thank you all.
And please continue to keep those hostie-eating vermin at bay for us, would you please?
We will do our best. We will do our best.
I know you will. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You can go do something more productive now. Unless you want to sit and listen, that's good too. Okay, item 5.
I will. I'm glad you approved it.
No worries.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Item 5 is a 2020-2021 Class A liquor license, Quick Trip 935, discussion possible approval.
Stan, if I could just make a reminder to everyone, if you have a interest that could cause a conflict, please don't participate in the discussion or the vote and recuse yourself.
Thank you, Paul. Okay, is there a motion?
I guess I got a
approve
question.
Or disapprove, or
Is this just a renewal, Chief?
No.
They're asking for a liquor license.
Right.
Correct.
this
Yeah,
this is a follow-up to last year when they asked for a liquor license after the normal stuff was approved. We had no idea from the get-go that they wanted a liquor license until it came right before they were ready to open their doors.
Yeah, we should have a motion here, Stan.
What's that?
We should have a motion before we talk much more about this, I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what it was.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to give history. So, I mean, you make a motion if you're ready to make a motion.
I just want to, interrupt real quick. Just so you know, I believe Rita Jackson, if you have questions for her after you make the motion and talk about it, I believe she's with Quick Trip in case you have questions for her after you make the motion.
That is correct. Thank you.
Okay, so is there a motion one way or another on the application?
And I'll move to approve the Class A retail liquor license for Quick Trip.
I second.
Okay, discussion. Okay, my discussion is, or I'll start out, is that we had this is the same board. This is the same application that we received last year, and the board, because due to the I don't know, the 2-block area that the board, I believe, felt that we had enough off-sale liquor licenses in that area in order to serve our residents, and it was voted down. I just, and I understand that the Quick Trip's proposal is to make it one quick stop, and it's, I don't see anything that's changed since the last vote on this, except for Some of us don't have a conflict anymore. Anyone else?
I just want to get some clarification based on last year that it is like just like small bottles. I mean, what are we talking about? Like, what would it look like if this were approved? I'd like an idea of that.
Are you asking Rita?
Yes.
Okay. So, from my understanding, we're looking to add wine and liquor, and the wine would be on the normal shelving lines as you walk through our grocery area up against a wall, and the liquor bottles would be behind the counter. It would be a smaller presentation than what you would see in a liquor store, but there would be different size bottles. It wouldn't be just the tiny bottles. It'd be a variation of bottles. I don't know a lot of stores that have it behind a liquor that carry the big, like the big half-gallon bottles, the big bottles, the great big bottles. But they do carry I believe they're the liter size bottles. Or even, they may even be the 2-liter size bottles. So, again, they are a variation of bottles that we carry.
Okay, appreciate that.
And all of the liquor bottles other than the wine are kept behind the counter. So they're kept in a display area behind the counter.
Okay.
Say, Lori, I think if you look at the application, there's highlighted areas there that shows the areas where the wine and liquor would be allowed.
Within the premises. I was really wanting to know like that bottle size, because like I was envisioning it really small, but it sounds like larger than that. So that's really kind of what I was thinking. Thank you, Rita.
Yep.
Does anybody know how many off-sale applications we have in the village?
Melissa?
Are you asking for Class A? Is just the only Class A liquor is the liquor store.
Village Inn?
Well, in that's Class B, and the bars can do carry out service. Yeah.
Off sale?
Yeah, off sale. Thank you. The bars can do off sale. Yes.
So that's that would be the Village Inn, Cozy Corner, Gov's, Mama Maria's up in that end of town. Then you've got and the liquor store, of course. And I don't think I forgot any there. And then Stars and Malibu. So that's the number we have that can sell off sale.
So you can walk out of there with a bottle?
Absolutely. The bars don't promote it as much as they do is to not to try to infringe on the liquor store and stuff like that. But the bars absolutely can sell off sale.
I can speak for Cozy Corner. We do under 20 bottles of alcohol sold a year. So it's not really big for us.
Further discussion? Questions?
For me, Stan, the reason that I was always nervous about this is because, so if we allow them to do it, then we have another gas station up at that end. And then I was always nervous for the third party. I know this sounds weird, but like a RMF Autos or another place like that, if we, technically speaking, just keep handing these out, these other places could apply for them.
I don't disagree with that because there is no limit on Class A's.
Yep, so once you kind of say yes to one, it's really hard to say no to other ones.
But when do we pass an ordinance to limit this?
I don't think you can. Or I guess you can.
You can pass ordinances to do stuff. We do not need an ordinance to deny. That's been, that was discussed last time, and there's precedent all over the state. And the Quick Trip group knows that not every one of their Quick Trip stores has a Class A license. They have the beer, but they don't have Class A.
Yeah, from our last meeting, it was about 60% of them they said had it, the liquor and alcohol.
Thank you, Kirk. Further discussion? Hearing none, the motion was to approve the liquor license for Quick Trip, and I guess we'll take a roll call vote on this because it's hard to say ayes or nays. So, Lori?
No.
Kathy's not here. Phil?
Yes.
Tim?
No.
Brian?
No.
And I would vote no.
You missed.
So,
I will also vote no, Stan.
oh, Kirk, how did I miss you? Oh, there you are over on the side. Sorry, my list escapes me. All right, so that's a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1
5 to 1.
against offering them a license,
Class A license.
a Class A license. Correct. I'm sorry, but let's see. That goes down. Next item on the agenda.
Say, Stan,
Yep.
you should probably have a motion to deny, because right now it's just in limbo. You haven't agreed to accept it, but you never really denied it formally.
Okay. Thank you, Paul. Is there a motion to deny the license per the vote we just had?
I make a motion to deny the license, the Class A license for Quick Trip Liquor.
Thank you, Lori. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kirk. Okay, and we've had a voice, an individual vote. So all in favor to deny?
Oh, one second, one discussion on that, Stan. So
Okay,
we are
good.
not denying their Class B activities.
No.
I'm kind of going off of what our
Class A.
Paul just stated.
Just the
I know.
Class A.
I'm asking that. I know that. But my point is, they still can continue with their Class B. We're not denying any of that, right? And when is that up? That's my next question.
Well, they don't have a Class B. Class B is bars and restaurants. They
Okay.
have a Class A beer. This one they were trying to get was Class A liquor. So they still have their Class A beer and their cider only license. Yes.
Okay. My next question is, when is that up?
That's at renewal time with everybody else's.
Okay.
So June 30th. Yeah.
I'm just taking a statement. I know Paul made about, in limbo, but I know it's based off this Class A. I just want to understand what the current, activity is and when it's up. So, okay. Thank you. Sorry, Stan.
No, that's no problem. So now a vote of, do we do the vote? All, no? Yes?
We have not voted.
We have not
We have
voted.
not voted. So all in favor to deny the application signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Hey.
Okay. Same count as last time. Let's see. Item 6 is reschedule November village board meeting due to general election. Approval requested. Is there a motion?
So the date I'm looking to reschedule is to October 27th.
I so move.
Thank you, Tim.
Discussions, Brian.
Second.
Thank you, Kirk. Okay, Brian's groaning. That's a discussion item, I think, then.
Well, I have cable board that night. Nate?
That would probably be done by 5:30.
Okay, thanks. All right, that's all I needed to know.
Okay, and I don't expect that we'll do finance might not have to meet at 6 o'clock next week, but we never know because things pop up. Okay, so Anybody else have issues or whatever for the 27th? All in favor of moving the meeting to 27 October due to the general election, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you.
I'm sorry, who seconded that? I apologize.
Kirk.
Kirk.
Kirk. Okay, item 7. Consider reopening the Village Hall boardroom and bathroom for use by outside groups and the village board. Discussion, possible action.
Stan, I so move to open the Village Hall board.
Thank you, Tim. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kirk. Discussion.
Do you want me to give any background?
You certainly can, Melissa.
Okay.
That's
Okay, so when COVID's kind of started in March, the Village Hall was, of course, closed to the public. We were still here. We've always been here, but closed to the public. And then we reopened, I believe, we were only closed for maybe 4 weeks. The Village Hall reopened to the public, but I've had the bathrooms, kind of the back hallway blocked off. So the boardroom and the bathrooms for just people coming in to use those. And it mainly was just to try and limit outside people being unnecessary wandering around the Village Hall, just trying to keep the staff safe. So that's why it has been closed. I know Park Board, I believe, has met in there. Public Safety has met. So committees, if they want to meet, they certainly can. So that's just why it has been closed. So, yeah.
So it's more during the daytime, the bathrooms back there, or is it even, right? Just in general?
Yeah, why we're open, why the building's open to the public.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
but we have some groups. It's mostly just, I think there's only been 1 or 2 groups maybe that have wanted to use the boardroom, but it was, it's associations, like trying to get their condominium association meetings done.
annual meeting.
Bridges and I forget the name of the other one.
Oh, the Monday morning prayer group.
Oh, yeah. And then there was another association wanting to use it. So, and I know we have a request. I believe somebody wants to use it in December. So
Okay,
that's
good.
just why I guess I have no preference. That's just why they were closed, was just to try and limit as many people necessarily being in there. So.
Is it going to have to be completely sanitized again after every group goes in and out of there?
Well, I mean, it should be, but I don't know, the bathrooms, groups come in at night, they're not going to clean the bathroom. I know Public Works, I don't know, maybe Patrick can speak to this. I believe they don't clean the bathrooms, I believe, every day. I don't know.
No, not every day. I clean them every other day.
Okay.
And Melissa, is that the only bathrooms available for staff to use?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to double check that.
The police department has one in the back that they can use. That's behind the locked door back there.
Okay.
That's the ones that we use, yeah.
But for the other staff members,
Yeah.
they are using that same bathroom.
Right.
Okay.
And of
The
course, if
public
somebody
is-
comes in and they're like, it's an emergency, obviously we're not gonna say, no, you can't.
Mhm.
If they come in, because we haven't that happen where, a kid will come in or something. And I mean, we don't say, no, you absolutely cannot use the bathroom. I mean, if it's emergency, we do. Most people know that there's a sign that says nobody basically past that point.
Could
Like I
we
said, I know
do-
some of the committees have met in there.
Could
I guess
could
I don't really know what to do with it anymore. It's kind of one of these things that you thought would be done with by now. So, I mean, we could, I believe Public Works does wipe down the doors and the handles and everything every morning. So it'd be just a matter of, I don't know, do we leave supplies in there for each group to clean after they're done? I don't know.
What about, can just the boardroom be available and the bathroom's still closed?
Well, what's hard is the groups that use it at night, and that's the groups that want to come in, mostly the associations.
So you can't secure the bathrooms?
No.
Okay.
Can't you just coordinate when those activities are open like that so Patrick can have it cleaned the next morning instead of doing it every other day? You know what I'm saying? So, if someone's using it tonight, that Patrick is notified and he has to clean it tomorrow morning before you guys come in.
Yeah, I'm sure that would work.
We could
That's
also
a
just
simple
leave out the proper cleaning stuff and ask the groups to one person who puts it together, just ask them to
That's a
wipe
good
it
point.
down after.
Right.
Yep. Two tunes right there. Yep. It's doubling it up.
For our park meetings too, we still practice safe distancing. So it's not like we're just going gung ho or anything. We just want an emergency or a place to go to the bathroom if people have to.
Yeah, and I would ask that, I mean, with some of the association meetings, I know some of them can get quite large, and I still would like to limit how many people can be. So I don't know what the current thing is. Is it 25 people inside in a room like that? And that's a lot of people for a room that size.
Well, it's 25% according to the latest edict.
Well, 25%? Oh, okay.
25% of your capacity in certain public buildings, but there's also exemptions in public buildings, and the exemption list is longer than the ones that they just want to shut down.
Yeah. But I would ask that people who use it, of course, do use some kind of control and social distancing, like Kirk had said, just so we're not coming in, the staff, because what I want to be able to keep the building open and keep the staff healthy and keep the building open for the public. Because if we get sick, the building's going to close, and then nobody will come in. And with the election coming up, that makes me a little nervous. I mean, yeah. I mean, of course, the election, there's going to be all kinds of people in here, but then we always cleaned good the next day.
Do you want to come up with some guidelines for use then? And we can post that, whatever you think is safe for the people that work in there and that you feel comfortable with?
I can.
I would just put something on the front door stating socially distance, clean up after yourself, and if you're sick, please don't come.
Right. And there are some signs on the front door. I'm sure, Kirk, you've probably seen them, but the socially distance, and there is a sign that basically says if you have any of these symptoms, don't come in here.
I think if we just make sure we have the proper spray stuff available in the room, it should be fine.
Yeah. Which we do have a lot of sanitizer. I've kind of gathered for elections.
We're a month away from election.
Less than.
Yeah.
I would really, if we do, I'm not opposed to doing this, but I'd really like to wait till after the election.
I also, just to ensure, A, that things are properly sanitized, and B, when we're talking about chemicals and products, yeah, they're household, no big deal, but you just never know what somebody might do. I'd prefer Patrick to be, or someone from Public Works to do the cleaning. Then we are guaranteed it's been cleaned and products have been used the way they're meant to be used.
Yeah, and it's not like someone's in there every day. So,
right. So
it's
a couple times a month. So I think having Public Works do it protects us all the way around.
Right. I agree.
I think, Brian, you had a good point about maybe waiting till after the election, because if the staff goes down before that election, we're in a heck of a problem here.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And there's actually, and these municipalities could be on the other side of the state. I don't know where they're at, but there's stuff all over clerk's lists that there's actually municipalities that are closing their doors to the public again. But I assume they're the ones on the other side of the state, where it's spiking again. But
all right, so we got a motion on here. We can basically say, deny this or say no, and then we can vote again at the next board meeting, because we're going to meet again before our election.
Or you can add to the motion, right, Paul? Just say to reopen after the election, if that's what you're stating.
Yep. Okay, I'll reconsider my motion to say that we open the village hall and bathrooms for groups and general public after the November election.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of not reopening until after the November 3rd election, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Aye. So motion carries. Item, I'm going to change the agenda. We have a party in, we have the fireworks paraphernalia license application from B&N Properties is down in item 12B, but I know Bill Warner is here with, and I think Bill Radosevich is here to represent B&A Properties, and we've got some lengthy stuff coming up. I'd like to have a motion or and a vote on on a possible fireworks paraphernalia in the old bank building. Is there a motion?
Yes, Stan, the public safety would like to bring to the board a motion to approve the application of fireworks paraphernalia license temporary use permit for B&A Properties LLC with the following inclusions: no smoking signs must be displayed, fire extinguishers available, no fireworks sold to persons under the age of 18 of age, and operation not to exceed 180 days per calendar year.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion.
So
Go ahead.
So this isn't the fireworks place we already have moving, right?
Correct. This is a new one.
A new one.
This will go in the old Midwest One Bank building. Billy, are you online?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Would you any questions? Bill's here and be happy to answer them.
So this is, Chief, this is pretty much the same kind of permit the other person has, right?
Yes, it's identical. The same
Okay.
restrictions were recommended.
Okay.
And I have a question for Bill. Is you got other plans for that building when you got 180 days for fireworks, or you guys got anything else you planning for in there?
We've had some discussion on some other uses, potentially for a Christmas store or something like that, but nothing finalized yet. Right now, first phase would be to try to open up the fireworks for the 180-day, I think, application period.
Okay. Any other questions for Bill? Hearing none. Let's see. I don't think we need a roll call on that, do we, Paul? All in favor of allowing or having B&A Properties open a fireworks paraphernalia license in the Midwest One Bank building, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none. Congratulations, Bill. I hope you guys are successful, and I hope you get some more business in there for the other half a year.
Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
You bet. Take care. Have a great night. Okay, back to the regular scheduled. New business from the border staff. President's comments. The only thing I have this month is that I just received the Lakeview EMS performance review from our EMS providers now, and they did a very nice PowerPoint presentation, which I believe is up on our website now, Melissa, or will be. Correct. Okay. So if you want to see how they're doing, they've got it's slides. North Hudson's first, so you don't have to go through all the rest of them on the back of it. But they're doing an outstanding job, and I know we've had quite a few calls up here in the village in the last month or so. That and I've heard nothing but great response from the folks that have been dealing with Lakeview's EMS staff. So please look that up. And the end of the month is coming, and I think that there's still Halloween candy available, but mostly Christmas is up there now. So please, I hope everyone has a very safe and wonderful Halloween holiday. Please dress appropriately so that the people can see you walking the streets if you're so doing that. Melissa.
So just another reminder that the general election is coming up on November 3rd. In-person absentee voting runs from October 20th through October 30th, Monday through Friday, during normal business hours. You can request an absentee ballot or register to vote by going to the myvote.wi.gov website. You can also use that website if you request an absentee ballot, to track your ballot. It shows when the request came in, when the ballot got mailed out, when we checked it back in, and then we have 30 days after an election to record voter participation, and you can see that out there as well, and you can see the elections that you have voted in past elections. So it's got a lot of useful information out there. And then, of course, you can always call the Village Hall with any other questions you may have. That's all I got.
Thank you, Melissa. Is that it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, item 9 is Plan Commission. I don't believe they met. Okay. Item 10, Personnel and Finance Committee recommendations, claims approval requested.
Stan, can I move to approve the October 2020 non-reclaims of $140,531?
Thank you, Kirk. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Tim. Discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Lori?
Yes.
Phil?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
And Kirk?
Yes.
And Kathy's still not joined us. I figured that was going to be a long meeting up there today. Okay, motion carries. Purchase of laptops for General Government Office and Public Works Director, approval requested.
Senate so moved to purchase 4 laptops in the amount of not to exceed $4,600 from the General Government Office and Public Works Director to be used for electronic meetings and to work from home in the event that the building may need to be closed for a period of time due to COVID-19, and submit expenses through the Routes to Recovery grant for reimbursement.
Thank you, Tim. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kirk. Discussion? Well, Melissa, this is all can be, we have a grant or whatever to be able to purchase these because of the COVID, correct?
Right. So we had through the Routes to Recovery grant, there's about 62,000. It's based on population and things like that out there. We don't get it up front. We have to submit claims to get reimbursement for. And this was one of the items that other municipalities are using the grant for. We currently only have the 1 laptop computer purchased in 2011. It's not compatible with Zoom. So for all these electronic meetings, Jessica's using her home computer and I'm using the police department's computer every time. So this would help with Zoom meetings. So that qualifies to use that grant for that. So, and we have already submitted about close to $9,000 in claims to the Routes to Recovery. So mostly that was that DS200 election equipment. So, yep, this is reimbursable for that.
Super. Thank you. And thanks for digging into that and finding that. That's going to be very important for us, I think. Any other discussion on the computers? Hearing none, it's a purchase. So Kirk?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Phil?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. Item C, purchase of air purifiers for Village Hall, approval requested. Is there a motion?
Brian, you want it? Mine's trying to load.
Yeah.
Stan,
I
can I
recommend
motion?
a motion to purchase air purifiers as recommended due to COVID-19 for the Village Hall in an amount not to exceed $6,500 and submit the expense to the Routes to Recovery grant for reimbursement.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kurt. Discussion. Background, Melissa? Just to...
So this is another expense that municipalities are using. I explained at finance, a lot of municipalities are putting some kind of HEPA filters and stuff into their HVAC system. Our system isn't that adequate to start with, so and that it's quite costly to do something like that. So this is kind of a lower cost version to help with air quality. The air quality isn't that great in the building regardless. So hopefully this will help keep the employees safe and other people coming in and using the boardroom. There'd be the boardroom, the police department, and general government offices that would utilize it. And they're commercial grade, so they should last for quite a while. So.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Questions?
I would just say that, be creative and try to use those funds because it's use it or lose it.
Right.
And a lot of municipalities are using those things for upgrades for various components of the building to make them safer, easier to clean, a number of things. So.
Right.
Melissa, could we have actually replaced our entire HVAC system with that grant? I know that's aggressive. Just curious.
I don't know. And it's hard to get in touch with somebody on that level that can answer those questions to be sure of that.
Boy, that would be, that thing, it needs replaced anyway, right?
Well, we did that back in 13, 14. They did do something to it, what they could do. So I don't know. That's something I can definitely look into. It's just hard to get an answer from the right person that could tell us that. The last thing I would want to do is take a chance and then they get audited and we come back and we owe $50,000. So, but I can try and reach out to somebody to see. I don't know. These other places that are using it aren't upgrading they're not replacing their whole system. They're just adding to it.
I got a text. I'll just say it. I got a text that somebody said the city of Hudson is actually doing their HVAC and using that grant.
Yeah, so, I know they upgraded theirs. I don't know if they got a whole new one, but I guess that would be something we'd have to probably discuss later.
So, Melissa, you provide a dollar amount. Do you know the dollar amount, what this grant, the cap is, or just basically it's based on submission?
Nope. So the village got just over $62,000 that's available in this fund. We don't get it up front. It's out there. You submit claims into it and then get reimbursed for it. So far I've done just shy of $9,000 for it. So, which is good because they'll reimburse. One of those was, like I said, the election equipment that I purchased for the But the laptops, air purifiers, other things. There's other things we're looking for, like getting motion censored soap dispensers for the bathrooms and the break room.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's where I was going. The bathrooms. Yeah. And
hand sanitizers.
How about a humidifier for the basement? That's I think part of the source of our air quality is.
I think, Patrick, is there one down there? I thought there was one down there.
We could use a real big dehumidifier. Yep.
Yeah, dehumidifier.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's
that's something we can.
That would aid the air purifiers, I believe, by not having them to filter all that stuff out and stuff.
Right.
So
and you got.
We got a lot of money left in that pot.
A month to get that properly submitted.
Yeah, everything has to be actually paid for by November 6th. So it's like you got to get it paid for by that date. That's the cutoff for it, unfortunately. So we're trying to come up with ideas. A lot of the clerks across the state are kind of sharing information as to ideas that we've had, ideas I've had. Some of them I think are pretty far stretch that could get you audited, but some are really good, and everybody, pretty much what we've spent is pretty much what every other municipality has been using it for. And
do you need any computer upgrades into your system to allow you to work at home if things get shut down?
Well, that would be the laptops.
Yeah, but I mean, beyond the laptops, is there, I mean, you need servers or any, I mean, I'm not a computer guy, but
Right.
anything you could tie into that would, I think would
Yeah.
qualify.
Yeah, Nathan had thought about maybe our accounting system so that because if he needed to work from home, he would need that upgraded, I believe. Yeah, it's hard until you hear the ideas. It's hard to think of everything you could do, so.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, we can definitely look at some of those other ones too.
Might as well look at UV while you're at it. Ultraviolet.
Yeah.
Some people are putting ultraviolet in too. Help kill them bugs.
Yeah. Yeah, and if Patrick has other ideas as well too,
Okay.
No,
Yep.
yeah, if the funding is out there, we've got that cap. We're not even, you're only not that far ahead. So
Well, I know what you can do is you can assign whatever you don't use to someone else, but so yeah, we definitely want to use.
I know some people have bought new furniture that's easier to clean instead of old, fabric furniture and things like that.
And I'm not sure if our tables and our office chairs, well, the chairs in the boardroom aren't really fabric. So I guess those are, I know some municipalities have argued they've bought picnic tables for all their parks. To me, that's a stretch because those are very expensive. And if you bought 20 tables at, what are they, about $700 a pop, and you had to repay all that, I think that's kind of a stretch because they're outside, so that's what I just try and be careful for. But yeah, we can get as many ideas as we can to try and get some of this stuff through. So.
And we're getting some computers, but, and yes, we do have the iPads that we have that are getting past their lifespan. Is there a way that we can get, because the backgrounds that Brian and Phil can sit in front of compared to my, curtain, I mean, I can't do that. So, I mean, that's a Zoom upgrade, I would think, that maybe we could look into that.
Paul, do you know much about that grant? Because my understanding is it's, it has to be something that was unbudgeted for, and, you needed it because of COVID.
Yep, you have to tie it into COVID. Yep.
Yeah, since they already have their iPads, what is your thought on, I don't know if I can purchase new ones because they already have them the ability to do Zoom. That's what makes me nervous because they already have them. If they didn't have them would be one thing, but.
When we got those tablets, it was never for outsourced meetings. It was to cut back on paper and stuff. So I guess that's something I would maybe say to that.
Yeah.
Well, I think some people are doing that, and I can't recall where it was, whether it's on the League of Municipalities site or whatever, but there was a list of things that municipalities have used.
Yeah.
And some were stretches, and
right.
Some were certainly legitimate. But,
right.
I think all your bathroom upgrades you're talking about are good. Certainly the stuff to work from home is good.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, I can try and get in touch. Like I said, it's not always easy.
And it's not just for the board, but if Public Works needs things or if the police department needs things.
Right. Yep. And I've submitted, like the air purifiers is the police department as well, and Public Works. Mm-hmm. And some of the PPE equipment Mark has given me to submit. So yeah, it isn't just this. There's other things that kind of made up the other items as well. A lot of cleaning supplies and things like that.
I was wondering, this is kind of a stretch, but thinking Public Works for Patrick, like a static sprayer for our bathrooms in the parks and in the village. I don't know.
Hey, I like that idea.
Yeah, people have been using them to upgrade, bathrooms and parks and things to make less contact.
Right.
Right.
Well, that's why we were thinking the motion censored soap and dispensers and hand sanitizers. I suppose we could maybe look at faucets too, but that's the problem, is trying to get everything bought in a month, you know. But yeah, we can definitely look at as much stuff as we can do of those ideas too. Yeah, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we might have a budget shortfall. So yeah, anything we can get that through on this would be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, it's a purchase. So we'll say Lori,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kirk.
Yes.
And yes, thank you. Let's see. Item D, change of labor attorney firm, approval requested.
Stan, could I motion the Village of North Hudson general labor and bargaining files be switched to Von, Brazen, and Rupert?
Thank
Second.
you. Is there a second? Thank you, Brian. Discussion? Melissa, history?
So we did have Mindy Dale with Weld Riley. We've worked with her for many, many years. She's our HR attorney. And I got notice that she was moving to Von Briesen. After speaking with her, it sounds like the major shareholders of Weld Riley decided to all leave and start, I don't know, their own firm. I'm not sure what they're doing. Paul may have more information on that. But basically, there is not much left at Weld Riley, is my understanding. And I don't know how much longer they may be still Weld Riley. The chief has worked a lot with Von Briesen with some training things he's done, seminars and things like that. They do a lot of work with municipalities. That's where Mindy went to, is Von Briesen. I know the chief and I have a lot of faith in Mindy. I mean, we really enjoy working with her, and she's easy to work with as far as HR items and things like that. I don't know if Mark has any more to say, or.
I think you've said it most of it. Just that Von Briesen and Roper is a representative that covers the Wisconsin Chiefs of Police Association, does a lot of training for them. And they also do training for the Wisconsin Professional League of, there's a long acronym. And I've attended a couple of their programs. And so I know that Mindy's moving into a group that's well respected already. And we know that we get along well with Mindy, and she's done us well as our representative. So it'd be great to be able to follow her.
And I guess for my 2 cents, I've worked with Mindy before. Actually, we both worked at Menards many, many years ago. And, you know, she does a good job for a lot of municipalities. The Weld Riley firm has sort of imploded, and I believe is going to be out of existence shortly. So I would certainly, support you folks staying with Mindy and keeping that continuity of legal representation.
And one thing I know during the finance committee is that we use her on a kind of an as-needed basis. There is no contract or no agreement in place that I'm aware of.
Right. No, and I know when I got into this job, Gloria could not. She spoke very highly of Mindy Dale. I mean, she's been awesome for the village for many long as I've been involved and stuff. So yeah, I hope we can get full support to go and to keep her as our HR attorney. Any other comments? Hearing none. Let's see, this isn't really a spend, so all in favor of changing the labor attorney firm, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Item 11, Public Works Committee recommendations, chair update. Brian.
Stan, the committee did meet, and we have one thing to bring forward, which is our renewing our snow plowing contract with Zappa Brothers. And so my motion is that we approve, or that we move to renew the snow plowing contract with Zappa Brothers Inc. with equipment rates increase and minimum guarantee to stay the same. This contract will cover the 2021 snow season.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Discussion? Rates are the same as last year, correct? Not the rates per hour. No, I mean I'm talking the minimum contract is still the same.
Yes.
At $7K.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else from anyone? Contract. Kirk.
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Tim.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Thank you, and I'll vote yes also. So snow removal contract approved. Item 12, Public Safety Committee Chair update.
Stan, we did meet and we did already complete our motion that we carried forward to the board, so we are good.
Thank you, sir. And item 13, Public Welfare. Kirk?
We did not meet.
Okay. How about the Park Board?
We met, but nothing forward to bring.
Thank you. And the next item 15, we're going to convene into close. I heard somebody. Convene into closed session. The board may convene into closed session pursuant to that 19.851 or parent 1, parent lowercase e to deliberate or negotiate the purchase of public properties, investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session with respect to water and sewer ad hoc committee updates and proposal from Rupert Milkey. And we have a second one. Paul, do I need to have a separate motion?
You're on mute, Paul.
You can continue and read it together.
Okay, so item B then is convene into closed session pursuant to 19.851C to consider employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility with respect to employee evaluations. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
And I motion to go into closed session.
Thank you, Kirk. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Lori. All in favor of going into closed session, signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you, Chief.
Opposed? Okay, we will now be going into
Thank you,
closed
Kevin.
session.
Yep. Have a good night, guys.
Okay, we're back in open session and
Hang on. Dan. Nate, are you here? I'm waiting on Nate so we
Okay.
can start recording.
no. I hate this. I want to be back in the hall.
Okay, give him a 5, 4, 3, dude.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the extended version of the Village of North Hudson Public Village Board meeting. Tim.
Yeah, out of the motion, I'm sorry, out of the closed session, I'd like to make a motion that I propose the funds to not to exceed 25,000 on the financial analysts, our utility options by Rupert and Melky.
Thank you, Tim. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Brian. Discussion. Hearing none. This is a voting issue to spend money. So, Lori.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Phil.
Yes.
Tim.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Kirk.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's see, where is we at now? The second portion of the closed session, we did not make an actionable item on. We will review further as the reviews come in. I think we are due for adjournment at 9:24. Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
God
everybody.
bless you all, and I
See
hope you
ya.
have a wonderful evening
Yeah.
and week.